Yes, welcome to episode 228 of the Kirby on Sports podcast. I'm your host, Josh Kirby. So glad that you are with us for another week gone by in the NFL season. Can you believe week 2 has already come and gone? Time is flying by quickly, ladies and gentlemen. So glad you're with us. A huge thanks to all of our sponsors: Frederick County Parks and Recreation, PM Plus Reserve, Shenandoah Primitives, Mark Francis with Icon Real Estate, Bear Pest and Termite Services, Mark Lynch with Guild Mortgage, Shenandoah Music, Icon Media, On the Road Driving School, New Look Landscaping, the Cider House, and Equipment Share. For all your equipment rental needs, Equipment Share Advanced Solutions. Contact Barry Pearson at 540-935-1069. Don't Sleep Energy is the official energy drink sponsor of the Kirby on Sports podcast. Use promo code KOS Podcast for 12% off your order every single time. Let's have some fun with this show. Bring in the first member of the Kirby on Sports podcast team. He was not able to record at the same time as Carlos and myself, but he's back this week. Dan Dembski. Dan, good to see you, buddy.
You always ruin the illusion. We could have just acted like I was there the whole time, but no.
Yes.
That's all right. You know, I'm doing well, man. I'm very excited, very glad football is officially back. We've had some fun games so far. I'm glad to go through it with you guys.
Oh yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and we cannot forget the reigning, defending, three-time Kirby on Sports PickEm champion, Carlos Martinez.
That was okay. Okay, that was better.
Thank you. I thought I screwed it up. I did not.
You know what you did screw up, though?
What?
What is Kirby hiding from you? For years, listeners of the Kirby on Sports podcast trusted him for honest sports analysis, but shocking new evidence reveals a pattern of deception. A leaked text message shows Kirby admitting he cut out references to being a four-time loser because new subscribers don't need to know. This is censorship at its worst. The truth Kirby doesn't want you to hear? He has finished last in Pick'ems 4 years in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive years of failure. Even his own co-host Carlos called him out, saying, quote, "Back to you, you four-time loser."
And we can't not mess anything up, or else the timeline will get messed up. But with all that being said, Dan, thanks again for hopping on. And Kirby, we throw it back to you, you freaking four-time losing stooge.
If Kirby can't be honest about his own track record, can you really trust him to tell you the whole story? Paid for by Carlos and Dan for Truth in Podcasting.
It's one of the greatest things ever, Carlos. Oh my gosh.
Let this be a lesson to you, Kirby. Don't ever cut one of my segments again. And for the listeners who missed that was a campaign smear video because controversy within the three-man booth. Josh Kirby cut out my four-time losing stooge comment out of the regular out of last week's regular episode. I will not allow that to stand. As the man of integrity on this podcast, I will not let this stand. Dan is behind me, and together
podcasting,
we created this. We are for... I don't even remember our super PAC name.
It's Carlos and Dan, Truth in
Podcasting. And we will not allow Josh Kirby to manipulate you all and erase the past, which is known as the four-time loser. We will not allow it. We will not. 4 times. 4.
No.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
So good.
Couple questions.
Okay.
Couple questions. How long did that take?
It took me like 3 hours.
What made you come up with that idea?
Because I will not allow that to stand.
Because I'm dying over here. That was actually kind of funny.
That was the
So
point. It's supposed to
good.
be funny. It was like I'm not
So
trying to actually
good.
hurt your feelings here.
Dude, I was like, are you kidding? The way it was put together, incredible.
I know.
Holy, I'm like, oh my gosh, man.
It was just like a political ad, but actually entertaining. Like it was so good.
No,
Oh
no,
my gosh.
Controversy.
I got some
Yes.
Fox 5 political ad sense from just now from watching football, and then you get a campaign ad. Sounded just like it.
That was the goal.
Holy
Yeah.
That's what
cow.
I was
So
aiming
good.
for.
I'm dying over here, Carlos. I might need to step out for a drink of water. Oh my gosh.
He's the Swiss Army knife for a reason.
Listen, I'm the
This is what
heel.
he
I'm the
does.
entertainment.
This is what he does.
Without me, like, come on, guys. There's a
Podcast
reason
is
why I've been
not the
champion for
same.
almost 1,000 days. We are one day closer
Oh.
to my 1,000-day reign.
But who's counting?
Me.
Dude, I'm dying.
So great.
I'm dying.
So great.
If you're on the video platform here on the Kirby on Sports podcast,
We'll release it.
I lost it.
We're gonna release it.
I lost
Yeah,
it.
you got it. You got to just put out that separately. It's so great.
Yeah.
So great.
I kind of want to run it again, but
I guess we'll have to, but oh my gosh, man. I'm dying.
let this be a lesson, Kirby.
I'm
Truth
dying.
in
Let this be a
podcasting. We'll,
lesson.
How'd you
we will
even
always seek
make
this.
that? That's so hard to edit stuff like that.
That's my secret.
Jeez.
he's good at it.
wow.
You gotta be good.
He is.
Gotta be good.
Secret.
So great.
Nah, but
Honestly,
Yeah.
if I'm being completely honest, I had no idea how I was gonna bring that up. I forgot. So I consulted with Dan before, but I
Nah,
totally
it was-
forgot to think about how do I even bring this up. You set me up perfectly. You set me up perfectly for that.
Right-
Unintentionally,
right in the
you set
intro.
me up perfectly, Kirby.
mm.
It's better than that. Oh, it's so great.
It was organic. It was beautiful.
So
great.
getting back to before that political PSA smearing myself.
Mm.
Yeah, did I
Can you be trusted?
introduce?
How can you be trusted? How can we trust you now?
Man, I don't know. How can anybody trust?
Well,
the
you know
wa-
who they can trust. They can trust in. You can put your faith in me because I am, like I said, the man of integrity in this podcast. I will tell you how it is, and I will not censor it. Unlike that stooge up there.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, hey, you bring up a good point, Carlos.
I know because
bring
it's
it
my point. If I bring it up, it's a good point.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll
What are we doing here?
I'll tell you the backstory. I
right,
cut it
tell us
out
the backstory.
because I was like, hey, Carlos might get a kick out of this. Then you text me a couple hours later saying, you know, you were like, why'd you cut it out?
The text was leaked right there.
Yeah.
Okay? From an anonymous source. We got the text messages. We saw what you said.
Yeah, but you know, I was playing around and you played it around right back, and I give you props. You got it done.
You never want to go
Certainly did.
Kirby because I'll win.
All right.
You can never
Well,
go toe to toe with the Swiss Army knife. You won.
okay. Well, that is
Best on
the
miss.
that is the three-time reigning defending Kirby on Sports PickEm champion. That is a legendary buffalo chicken dip maker, and he does it all. That's Carlos Martinez, the weapon Dan Dembski as well. Let's reel things back in.
I don't
and
make
let's-
buffalo
I
chicken.
don't think there's no reeling it
I'm
back
here.
in. The genie's out of the bottle at this point.
No, we're gonna reel it back into the
They're coming to
outline of the
Carlos
show.
and Dan for the truth from now on. Carlos and Dan, truth and podcasting pack. Don't forget.
All right, so NFL week number 2. We're going to do things a little bit differently. We're going to start out with some NFL headlines that we would like to bring up and potentially discuss. Then the home team report comes after that. And to wrap things up, the famous Kirby on Sports Pick'em. So starting off, gentlemen, the headlines, NFL headlines. I might, you know, I thought of one, but I will give the
We
floor
were
to-
supposed to bring them. I thought you were just going to bring them up.
Yeah, the same.
Well, I mean, I didn't know if you had any you want to. No, I'm not like saying you have to, but if you saw any that you thought were interesting, feel free to share.
Let's just go through the top headlines.
Then I will give you my first headline, if you would like.
Sure.
This might be a very controversial subject that people are asking about. The Raiders and Chargers at 10 o'clock last night. But
that is not the number one headline we should be talking about here.
Well,
what are we doing here, Kirby? Come
still-
on. Okay, you know what? That's enough out of you. The first headline we should be talking about is we've gotten our first major quarterback injury of the season, and that is Joe Burrow going to be out for 3 months. There you go. Now let's discuss. What are we doing talking about Chargers Raiders at 10 o'clock? I don't care.
Well, Tom Brady's in the.
I don't care.
I think that's the headline we should talk about.
No, we should talk about the actual headline, which is Joe Burrow is out for 3 freaking months.
Yeah, that is true.
Out for 3 months. Oh man.
It's the O-line. The O-line, they haven't invested money in the Bengals O-line, and that's what happens, unfortunately. Joe Burrow is a great quarterback, very successful in this league, but I think it boils down to Trey Hendrickson wanting too much money, and they can't invest in the offensive line.
This is a wrong take, because when you actually break it down, it actually turns out Cincinnati has invested some assets into the offensive line. It's just the offensive line is not working out.
This past offseason,
they signed Orlando Brown Jr. from Kansas City, which at the time looked like a good signing, but it just hasn't worked out. They've invested in the line they have. It's just the line has not played up to what they thought they were going to play. Now, obviously, we know the owners of the Bengals are absolutely cheap sons of a guns. I got to watch my language here.
Absolutely.
Family-friendly podcast. But we all know that they're cheap and like they don't like spending money. They did spend a lot of money on Joe Burrow. They spent a lot of money on T. Higgins. They spent a lot of money on Jamar Chase. So that's obviously going to limit them. But this isn't, in all honesty, when you really look into things and you look deeper, because that is the easy assumption, right? That they just haven't invested in the offensive line and that they've neglected that. They actually haven't. They have actually invested some assets into the offensive line. Now, a lot of people are comparing this to the Andrew Luck situation. That was negligence. The Colts did not invest anything. This is not the same situation. It's just also the way that the Bengals play. They believe that this is the best way that they can win, which is by investing in the passing game and not really focusing necessarily on the offensive line. So they want the top wide receivers. They want a good quarterback like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow likes to play out of the shotgun. He likes to use his special power, which is to read, before the pre-snap or whatever, do his pre-snap reads and like see all that stuff like beforehand. That's how they like to play. And the only issue with that is that then that puts Joe Burrow at risk to get hit a lot. And he's gotten hit a lot. And now it's another injury. This is probably another season gone for the Bengals. In all honesty, I don't necessarily know. I mean, he'll be back and he'll be fine. This isn't like a torn, this isn't like something catastrophic. It's just turf toe. Patrick Mahomes had it, and he's fine. He won 2 Super Bowls after that. God dang it. There I go again. I brought up Patrick Mahomes already.
It didn't take long.
It doesn't take me long. I got to stop doing this. I got to stop. But yeah, Joe Burrow, like he'll be okay. He's going to be out for 3 months. Now, whether he'll be back, I don't know if he plays again this season. I really don't, because it just depends where the Bengals are by the time he's like cleared to play again.
Yeah.
But it's not, he won't be back until like mid-December. So like that's going to be like week 13,
it's like 9 weeks from now. Yeah. It's like 8-9 weeks from now. 10, maybe 10.
It would be 12 weeks from now because it's 3 months.
12. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, duh.
Yeah. So it would be like 13, 14 would be like when he's coming back.
Oof.
Actually, it might be 14, 15. So it's like, is it really going to be worth it for him to even play at that point? It just depends where the Bengals are. Are they on the cusp? Are they on the cusp of making the playoffs? Are they actually? They're 2-0 right now, but nobody expects them to continue winning.
Yeah, their schedule's tough.
So yeah, this whole notion of the owners just haven't invested, it's actually not true when you actually look into it. It's just they didn't necessarily spend big money on the offensive line. or they didn't spend high draft picks on the offensive line. They signed players that they thought were going to work out, and then they didn't work out.
Part of this, too, is just also how Burrow plays, like Carlos alluded to. And I think we're not putting enough stock into sometimes how long Joe Burrow holds the ball and therefore leads himself to getting hit more than he could, I think. And I think it goes back to his style of play. He likes to get outside the pocket and move around. That's when he's dangerous. We all know that. But look, when you leave yourself vulnerable to those types of hits more often, this is going to happen. So this is what, the third injury he's had in the NFL that we've discussed now, maybe 4?
Turf toe. He had the wrist injury a couple years ago, and then the torn ACL.
The torn ACL. So
his rookie year.
3. And he's been in the league, what,
6 years?
6 years?
No.
Something
5
like
years.
that.
5 years. 5 years.
5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, because he got drafted in 2020.
2019 team for LSU, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, 5 years in, this guy's already had 3 major injuries. It's definitely a concern if you're thinking about a long-term commitment to your quarterback. I mean, I agree with Carlos. This is a different situation than Andrew Luck. I think the Bengals have certainly given him weapons, unlike, something the Colts didn't necessarily do with Andrew Luck, and he was pretty much throwing to no-name people out there all the time, combined with their
abysmal offensive line. They're abysmal.
They didn't spend any money on the offensive line and pretty much, led him to an early retirement. So it's a different situation in that respect, I think, for sure. But yeah, it's concerning if I'm a Bengals fan and I'm thinking of, long term, is Joe Burrow going to be here for another, 8, 9, maybe 10 years in the NFL? I don't know, because he's already had 3 injuries in the National Football League. But I mean, obviously, I want to see him get healthy. I think he's a special talent, man.
I mean, again, we
He's
put him
healthy.
up there with the top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, he's up there.
Yeah,
On his best day, he's beaten every single one of he's beaten Allen, he's beaten Lamar, he's beaten Mahomes. Like, he's the one guy who actually got to a Super Bowl during this whole Chiefs dynasty.
That's right. So, I mean, that's really all I have. I think he's just a great talent. It's a shame if he's injured. If he keeps getting injured, he might have to change the way he plays the game of football. It might just be he has to get the ball out faster. I think a lot of times he tries to play hero ball a little too often, in my opinion. And a lot of times it's led to these types of hits. Now, maybe those other 2 injuries, I wouldn't say that, but for this one especially, he held the ball too much in that game, I think, on Sunday, and I think it caught up to him. So it's unfortunate, and obviously I think when you think about the AFC, you think of all the great quarterbacks, and he's definitely near the top of that list, and it's definitely a weaker conference and a weaker AFC North for sure without him in it. So hopefully he comes back in the time frame they expect him to, and if the Bengals can stay competitive, I wouldn't be surprised if he is able to help them make a late playoff push. But I just don't know, man. Their schedule's tough, and I really don't know how long Jake Browning is going to be able to keep you competitive and, is going to win football games for you. I just don't know.
So just to throw this in there, the Bengals did sign 2 quarterbacks today. They signed Mike White and Sean Clifford, but none of those guys are really like needle movers. So the question is, do they make a trade for Kirk Cousins? Because that's been thrown out there.
I've heard that, and I think that'd be a smart move.
I heard Jameis, too.
There's that one, too. There's Jameis as well.
Yeah,
Jameis has been thrown out there as well. I think the Kirk Cousins ones makes more sense, in my opinion. Because let's be honest, Jameis is a backup. He's not a starting guy. Kirk at least has a lot of great starting experience, and I think he could do a lot with Jamar and T. Higgins.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great plug and play for their system too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that makes a ton of sense.
Because again, it's not like Burrow's necessarily the most mobile guy, and neither is Kirk Cousins.
Right.
And by all accounts, Kirk has actually looked very good now that he's another year removed from that Achilles injury.
Mm-hmm. That's the key thing at his age as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think the Bengals have some decisions to make for sure. I think it's just a matter of whether they can, agree to make it happen. I think that's the big thing that we're going to have to keep an eye out if they try to make pull the trigger for Kirk Cousins. We'll see.
So let me ask you all, and maybe you read into this, maybe you didn't, but on the other side of the football for the Jaguars, there was a sequence where it looked like Liam Cohen, the Jaguars head coach, was kind of upset, and then Trevor Lawrence shoot him off. Did any of you all see that?
No, I did not.
What do you
we're 2
think,
weeks
Dan?
in. Well, we're 2 weeks in, and already you have your starting quarterback and new head coach seeming to have an issue during the game, trying to set up a play. I think it's a bad sign. And look, I was one of those people when they hired Liam Cohen that I'm just like, who's this guy? And of course, we all know the famous clip, Duval, and the cringiness of how that took off. And it just seemed like an odd fit, in my opinion, when they hired him. So maybe we're starting to see early signs of what could be a tough relationship, or maybe we're just seeing also just growing pains between, a quarterback who, quite frankly, is probably frustrated that he has underperformed what was expected of him in his NFL career so far. And maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure what the internal dynamic is between, Trevor Lawrence and Cohen, but it is weird that 2 weeks in we're already seeing this type of interaction between the head coach and the quarterback. Not a great sign. Not a great sign if you're a Jags fan, for sure.
I find it troubling, to be honest, because you don't really, because we're not on the inside. We won't really get the full story, but to see that, that's not a good look come week 2.
No,
I mean,
no,
short and simple.
Right.
So.
If it's a playoff game and you're seeing that emotion, okay, that happens in those types of situations. But yeah, week 2 of the regular season,
I think what's
not ideal.
Look, is them just completely botching that game.
Well, that too. Yeah,
it's not a great look.
Yeah,
let's keep it. Let's keep the main thing here. At the end of the day, they were up 7 when Burrow goes out. Jake Browning throws 3 interceptions, and yet they still lose a game. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Pretty bad. But anyways,
what other headlines, Kirby? What do you think? What other headlines do we have?
Now we can hit your 10 o'clock headline if you want to.
Yeah,
I don't understand why you wanted to start off with that. That made no sense. The biggest news is Joe Burrow out for 3 months, and you want to talk about the game starting at 10. You know what? Let's just go ahead and discuss it.
Because it was fresh in my mind. I apologize, Carlos. I didn't start with
again.
Joe Burrow.
This is why I am the man of integrity on this podcast. I keep the main thing.
But no, I mean, seriously, it just popped into my head, but any normal show host would start with Joe Burrow. I know it's late, but people are chiming.
So you're saying you're not normal. I'm glad you're admitting that. We have that for the record now, Carlos.
Well, look, we had a whole smear ad campaign play showing he's not normal.
Yeah, that is totally true.
All right, so I don't know if either of you all stayed up and watched it, but Tom Brady was at the game with a headset on, sitting in the coach's box. Apparently, he meets with Chip Kelly, the Raiders offensive coordinator, 2-3 times a week. And some people are on social media saying this is a bad look. This shouldn't happen.
This is the part where I say, stop listening to what everybody says on social media. Who the cares? I don't care that he's in there. What is he really revealing in there? Nothing. Tom Brady is not going to give
Raiders.
them. That's what I'm saying. He clearly it didn't help in this game. The Raiders lost 20-9. Why are we all freaking out? Who cares? Who cares? We got bigger things to worry about than Tom Brady being in the coach's box. Ooh.
Also, secondarily, I think the start time for the game that's a game for the West Coasters. That's not a game
West
for the
Coast
East
teams.
Coasters. People don't care. People don't care in the East Coast and for a late start like that. So that's a game.
Now look, I do have gripes.
California.
I do have gripes
fans.
with the times things start. For example, Canelo versus Crawford this Saturday. We did a live stream for it. Nobody watched because guess what time that fight started? 1 in the freaking morning.
Yeah, that's tough.
And then Kirby has the gall to ask me the next day, are you doing a live stream for Eagles Chiefs? No, I'm not doing one. I wasn't gonna do one anyways. But then after that was already like happening at 1 o'clock, I was like, absolutely not. I didn't go to bed until like 3 a.m.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't know you live streamed at 1 in the morning.
I know nobody did
until my dad told me. I'm like, oh, Carlos was live streaming. Okay,
It was.
I thought it was like at 10 p.m.
So the fight card started at 9.
Oh my god!
By all accounts, the only but okay, that's better than what a UFC pay-per-view or a regular boxing pay-per-view starts, right? They normally start
11,
at
right?
10, right? They don't starts at 10, and then you go through the prelim fights, and then you get to the main event. That's what happened here. But they started at 9. By all my research, they said this fight was going to start at. We're on boxing talk right now, but that the fight was going to start. That Canelo and Terrence Crawford were going to both walk out at 11 p.m. Now, I knew that was probably not going to happen, but I was like, okay, well, let's say they do, because this is on Netflix and they probably want to try to get the maximum viewers, so they're not going to want to go too late. Okay, I'll set up a live stream for 11 o'clock. It's 10:15, and we're only on the second fight. And every fight is 10 3-minute rounds with a minute in between. So it's about an hour each fight. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to keep pushing back. So I pushed it back another hour and then another hour. And then luckily I got it right. But every fight went to decision. So there was no quick knockouts. So I had to wait the whole time. I get on, and it was immaculate production. I created a tail of the tape, a new little score bug thing to put on here to tell you what round and how much time is in the round and everything. Nobody watched. And then I sat there and I thought to myself, why do we still do, why do you want this fight happening at 1 a.m? Why is this not happening at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night? More reasonable. Why is it not happening at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night? Even more reasonable. Why are we waiting until 1 a.m. when everybody's fighting freaking sleep? Why is this still a thing? Yep. So that's my gripe with things happening.
Yeah, that's why I didn't watch the game, the late game. But
honestly, it wasn't an interesting game, anyways. And besides, that Texans Buccaneers game was 10 times better.
Oh yeah,
it was a good finish too.
Absolutely. Another headline. Jayden Daniels.
Oh no!
We're saving that one.
Save that for when we talk about your team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, save that for when you talk about your team.
It's
the same thing. It's the same thing with the Tush Push conversation. We're gonna save that for when we talk about Chiefs. We'll save it for then.
Any other headlines we should bring up?
Carlos?
I might have had one. Hold on. I was looking through some of the headlines while we were.
I have one more funny one that I shared with you in the group. The Falcons.
Is it really funny?
The Falcons kicker meeting Leonard Floyd for the first time after the game, and Chris Collinsworth's going crazy.
Yeah, but that's not really a headline necessarily.
If I'm going to be honest,
that's just a funny anecdote.
I didn't even care to open that or watch it.
It was a typical Collinsworth response. But
what about Sean McVay tearing his foot on the side?
I was thinking about bringing that.
I actually literally just saw that. I'm like, what happened?
It's wild, man. I don't know. Apparently, coaches get injured sometimes. Non-contact injury.
I'm wondering how he tore it.
Yeah, I'm gonna look and see if it says in this story I saw.
I didn't see any reason when I scrolled down in the article I looked at, but I mean,
he was trying to call a timeout and he just pulled up awkwardly.
No. Interesting.
Okay. Apparently, those are intense now.
Ooh. Let's talk about that Colts Broncos finish.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was sick.
The Broncos fumbled the bag on that 15-yard leverage call.
I personally still don't understand it.
I don't get that rule at all, dude.
I don't understand it.
It's so arbitrary. It's just arbitrary.
I think it's because
it felt unnecessary.
They want to protect the center.
Yeah, but it wasn't even anything like egregious.
It wasn't that egregious, no. I mean, it might have happened, but I didn't see much. I didn't see much there.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't see anything egregious there.
I didn't either, but I guess the officials saw something that.
Well, I mean, officiating this week was awful, as we all
It was
know.
really bad.
We'll get into it more.
Well, it's not even specifically about the Tush Push and the Chiefs. It just all around the league this week. It was
bad.
really bad.
Yeah. Which is a shame because I thought week 1 was decent. I mean, there were a couple of bad calls, but
no, but this week was abysmal. I don't know how you fix this officiating problem. It's a constant issue. It's every year.
Full-time refs or full-time, they're all part-time. You need full-time, fully paid, fully compensated, like unionized probably officials. I think it's the only way you can really get around it. And I don't know.
I have one more headline.
It's a complicated problem.
Okay.
Kirby.
Here's one. And there's actually a fact. This hasn't happened since 1960s, 70s, or something like that.
All the bird teams won.
Brandon Aubrey kicks a 64-yarder as time expires at the end of regulation, and kicks a shorter field goal as time expires in overtime.
That game was pissing me off.
That is the first time that's happened since like the 1960s, I believe.
Yeah, that game was pissing me off.
Why?
Because it cut into the whole entire first quarter of the Chiefs-Eagles game. Okay,
yeah, it really did.
It pissed me off. I was like, guys, I want to watch my actual team. You guys aren't my team anymore. Okay, and then on top of that, that Dallas defense is dog doo-doo. Okay, oh my God, you let the Giants score on a go route in the red zone. Like, how? And it was just like, you made Russ look like Mr. Unlimited again. Like,
hey, that's what Matt Eberflus will get you.
But in the end, dangerous Mr. Subway threw an arm punt in overtime to end it.
Yeah, they had a chance to win.
I couldn't believe how crazy that game was.
That game was absolutely insane.
His arm just got,
and it was a lot of fun to watch. But
it was a good one. Good.
Man,
it was also sloppy. Just
very sloppy.
Oh.
And then their left tackle just getting pulled after that first drive for getting 4
Oh
penalties.
God.
4.
Yeah, that was bad.
Did you see that? Did you see the play where there were 4 penalties on the same play?
It was 3 on the Giants, 1 on the Cowboys.
And they all
offsetting. I don't understand this. How does okay. Easy, Carlos. Easy.
Take
easy
a breath.
now.
Take a breath.
Okay. How does 1 offset 3? Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, just so this team can commit 3 penalties, but just because this team commits 1 penalty, none of those penalties are going to count? That doesn't make sense. That makes no sense. The NFL's got to figure this out, man. It's starting to piss me off.
Does it have something to do with it? It has to have something to do with the distances on the penalties, right? Is that what it is, or is it just the?
I think it's just they both committed penalties, so none of them count.
That's such a dumb rule.
Yeah.
Like somehow, let's see, Dallas was unsportsmanlike conduct, but then I can't remember all 3 of the Giants, but like it was a lot, and it's just like how.
How does that offset? Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, who knows?
But that's all I have. Do you have any more?
I got nothing else.
Brandon Aubrey's the truth, man. He's continuing to show it over.
Yeah, he's going to replace Tucker as the GOAT of all kickers.
Just
remember, ladies and gentlemen, he was a failed MLS player, and he's now one of the best kickers in the league.
Goes to show you anyone can do it. Well, not anyone. You got to have talent. But
you got to have talent. But what I'm saying is, just because something doesn't work out doesn't mean that there's not something else in the future for you.
Never quit.
It might not be the path that you think it's going to be. You might think that, again, he thought he was going to, he thought he was going to be a professional soccer player. It didn't work out. He got a normie job, and then saw all these terrible kickers that we have in the NFL missing kicks, and he was like, I can do that.
I'm gonna go try.
Look where he is now.
There you go.
He's about to get a mega contract from Jerry Jones since they didn't have to pay Micah.
That is true. Well,
Speaking of Micah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good segue, Carlos.
yeah, but those were the headlines. We're going to step out for a quick timeout, and we're back with the home field report right here on the Kirby on Sports podcast. Stick right here with us. Frederick County Parks and Recreation announces Bluegrass and Barbecue, a free community concert held at the amphitheater behind Bowman Library in Stevens City, Virginia. On October 4th from 12 to 5, come out to the amphitheater at Bowman Library to enjoy numerous musical talents and some food vendors for an enjoyable afternoon of music with bluegrass and barbecue. For more information, you can check out the website fcprd.net. For sports fans living in condominium and homeowners associations, as well as business professionals, when you need a reserve study, PM Plus Reserves has been in business since 1990. Their studies are accurate and easy to understand. Check them out when your association needs a study. www.pmplusreserves.com. You can also contact them at 703-803-8436. Once again, www.pmplusreserves.com. Is it finally time to upgrade your home's interior? How about with an authentic farm table made locally from recycled barnwood? Shenandoah Primitives, based right here in Winchester, Virginia, makes farm tables, benches, tables, coffee tables, and a long list of other items for your home decorating needs. At Shenandoah Primitives, function and style are combined for great furniture that will last generations. If you're interested in combining the industrial look of metal with wood, or considering something incredibly unique with a live edge, Shenandoah Primitives turns those ideas into reality. Thinking about a mirror, wine rack, or other accent piece for your home, Shenandoah Primitives can assist with that as well. As a local small business, Shenandoah Primitives is happy to work with each client for a custom design or schedule an appointment to come out and view current inventory. Local, high-quality, handmade items can be found at Shenandoah Primitives. Find us on Facebook and Instagram or visit us at www.shenandoahprimitives.com.
Hey there, Kirby on Sports Podcast fans. Mark Francis with Icon Real Estate here for you. Remember, if you have any real estate needs, buying or selling, I'm your guy. I would love to help you out. And you can also find me on my own personal podcast, Iconic Talk, where you get a chance to learn about the local real estate market and why Winchester is an amazing place to live. Reach out to me anytime, 540-247-1527, and find Iconic Talk anywhere you get your podcasts.
Let's get it, episode 228 of the Kirby on Sports podcast. We are back in business.
In the Lambo, the mighty Lambo, the Micah sleeps tonight. In the Lambo, the mighty Lambo, the Micah sleeps tonight.
What are we doing?
That was good, Carlos.
Bum bum Jayden.
I like Carlos taking solo.
Bum bum Jayden.
All right, that's enough of him. Well, we
Why?
can't.
That was
we,
great.
well,
Come
we
on.
can't be having none of that nonsense.
You're just a
Listen,
sore
once
loser,
again,
Josh.
I am the entertainment. I am the heel of the podcast. Are you not entertained, my people?
This is this should be the home field report starting now. I was gonna introduce it, but Carlos sort of messed
Hijacked it
that
like
up.
I always do.
Well, go ahead.
Baby
Go
boy,
ahead.
this is what
This-
I do.
This is
God
the
damn,
home
fire
field
me up.
report, and this is where we talk about our teams, how they did in the order of when they were played.
Which is why I
Obviously,
just sang that beautiful song for you.
yes. Micah looked good. The Commanders did not. I believe they faced a really, really tough Packers team. It's only week 2, but the Packers, my friend, watch out because I think they're making a deep playoff run. I mean, in the big storyline, Jayden Daniels, knee sprain, but I have a little thing with that too, with the fact that there's a potential injury that might sit Jayden Daniels out. This Commanders team, they tasted what success was like in the NFC Championship game. And there are times in this National Football League where things don't really get your way. And when it like a Joe Burrow injury and then the Commander situation, Jayden Daniels. So with that being said, I don't have a problem if the Commanders sit Jayden until he is 100%, because the Commanders really need to focus on the long-term investments for their franchise. And if that means the Commanders will lose a couple games or straight up tank because of it, I don't know. I can't predict the future. But with that, to protect the long-term investment of a quarterback by the name of Jayden Daniels, who was the offensive rookie of the year last year, I'm fine with all my Eagles friends, my Cowboys friends, and my Giants friends ridiculing me because the
Well,
Commanders.
Giants fans have no right to talk to anybody and
but
ridicule anybody.
But to make a long story short,
Wow.
this is a long-term investment for the Washington Commanders in my mind. And I'm hoping with the competent ownership, the competent front office, the competent coaching staff, they make the 100% right decision when it comes to the health of Jayden Daniels and the starting quarterback.
Your mind and a lot of fans' minds is stuck with that Mike Shanahan RG3 debacle.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie.
That's what that narrative is, Kirby. Yeah, that's what that is. I mean, and I get that. Like, it was a very, harsh moment for the fans of that franchise, for sure, to watch as your beloved quarterback, got thrown back into a situation, which, he said he wanted to play also, so that's partly on him. But I don't think that's going to happen in this situation. I think you have, like you said, competent owner, competent front office, and a head coach that is very plugged into all that as well, who, loves his players, and you can see that. So I don't think that's going to happen this time around. I get why that's the narrative, and I know that's pretty fresh in a lot of fans' minds for sure. When you think about, just a little longer than 10 years ago, we were having that conversation. So,
is it weird though? Is it weird though that I'm fine if Jayden sits maybe 3 even
Why
4
would that
games?
be weird? What team?
That's not weird at all.
That's not weird.
What team wouldn't want that?
Again, when Patrick Mahomes hurt, God, I'm gonna.
Here we go.
Mind.
It's okay because
just never
your
mind.
Team. It's okay.
Just
okay.
Never mind.
No, the reason why I asked you, is it weird?
I'm trying my best not to keep bringing that guy up.
I know.
Is it weird that I'm like, because okay,
no. Okay, better example. I got it. Better example. Okay. When Tony Romo would break his collarbone, because he broke his collarbone a lot. Okay.
Oh, they did.
We wanted him back at 100%. Then he tried to come back way too early, and we saw what happened. He re-broke it. Okay, so it's not weird to want your quarterback to be 100% healthy and be okay with losing games. Is it frustrating? Yes, especially when you're expecting a great season. Then that gut punch of your quarterback getting hurt happens. Okay, but by all accounts, it's just a knee sprain. It's not going to take forever for it to heal. It'll take maybe 2 to 3 weeks at worst.
A couple weeks, probably. A couple weeks, yeah.
So
yeah, and I think too,
we're not talking about a torn ACL here.
Like Carlos alluded to, a lot of times too, the quarterback wants to come back sooner because they have that competitiveness. They want to play, so that's a big part of it too. And I think Jayden Daniels understands in this situation, you got to take time to heal. And yeah, exactly. This is not a long-term injury. At least it doesn't appear to be, unless something else is, that they're covering up is seriously wrong. But this is a 3-week injury at most, I think. And yeah, you guys will be fine. Now, if we were like in week 10 and he was going to be out for 5-6 weeks, okay, there's room for concern there. But this this injury happening this early in the season, I think he's going to be fine. I think you all are going to be fine. Yeah, I think things will work out either way. That defense needs. I don't know.
Yeah.
Secondary needs a lot of help. Still.
Terrible.
Terrible. I'm going to make a bold statement that I want on the record.
Hold on.
Write
Warning
this down.
label. This is not going to be a bold statement. Watch.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Marshawn Lattimore should have been traded yesterday.
Wow, you really went on a limb
How
there.
is that a bold
I
statement?
told you. That's why I put the warning label on it. He always claims, I'm going to make a bold statement here. And then it just ends up being like the most generic statement that literally like everybody else is making.
Marshawn Lattimore, I'm not a fan.
You know what's funny? He always says that. You know what's funny, and it's never funny. So you got to work on those two things.
Kirby. We're gonna call these Kirbyisms. Kirbyisms. That's what we're gonna call it. That was a Kirbyism right there. Bold statement, Cotton. Let's see if this works out for him.
But
yeah, Marshawn.
Go on,
Marshawn
Lattimore. I'm sorry. Yeah,
He
Marshawn Lattimore is cooked. He's cooked.
He stinks.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Josh Norman.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good comparison.
I mean, his attitude. He doesn't really have an attitude like Josh Norman did.
I don't know when he goes up against Mike Evans, he does.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, they don't like each other.
They don't like each other.
He reminds me completely of Josh Norman and how bad he was. That's just me. The secondary needs some work. Did you hear the stat on Thursday Night Football? The Green Bay Packers are the youngest team in the NFL, and the Commanders are the oldest team in the NFL. I mean,
I actually did not know the Washington one. I knew the Green Bay one. They throw that in your they throw it in your face every time they play. The Washington one I had no idea about.
So
it must be signing all those veterans, I guess. All those old guys.
Think about who their core players are: Lattimore, Wagner,
Von Miller.
Von Miller.
Like
I don't even remember Von Miller's on that freaking team.
Neither do they. Yeah.
I mean, I think Adam Peters and Josh Harris are doing the right things over there, but I think you got to take a look in the mirror and see how you can lower that average age a little bit. Doesn't help that Austin Eckler's out for the season either. Because looking for Brian Robinson. Oh, wait, he's West Coast in San Francisco. But, I really honestly think the Commanders were put up against a tough Green Bay Packers defense, who I really think is going to go far this year.
On a short week, too.
Look. The thing is Green Bay hasn't necessarily been tested yet, right? They played 2 home games. And yes, they were against 2 playoff teams. One that was the number 1 seed last year, and then again a team that was in the NFC Championship game. But they haven't faced the big dogs yet, and they won't face them until Week 8 in Philly. I think that game is in Philly, right? Yeah. So we'll see how they do against Philly. And it's not, and we'll talk about Philly in a little bit, right? We'll talk. No, we talk about the Ravens next. Then we talk about yeah. So we'll talk about Philly in a little bit, but that I think is going to be the biggest barometer test for the Packers is when they face the Eagles, because from here on out, they're not really facing anybody really noteworthy. I mean, sure, they got a matchup against the Cowboys. We already saw the Cowboys defense ain't stopping nobody, and they can sign Jadeveon Clowney, but guess what? Jadeveon Clowney is not what he used to be. So with all that being said, the Packers look great. But their real test is going to be Week 8 against the Eagles, and so far they've passed all they passed the flying. They passed Come on, Carlos, speak words. They passed the 2 tests that have been thrown in front of them so far, but and again, there's not going to be really much of a challenge going forward until they face Philly, who, in all honesty, hasn't looked the best, but we'll talk about them in a little bit.
Kirby, I got to say, for the Commanders fans, and for you especially, it is so hard in the NFL to have continued success season after season. Once you've gotten that taste, getting to the NFC Championship game last year. We knew this was going to be a hard road for the Commanders to repeat and get back to that game or get back and make a deep playoff run. So I'm just going to tell fans of the Commanders to be patient and realize that the hardest thing in the National Football League is to consistently win, to make a deep playoff run. There's one Kansas City Chiefs, all right? There's one Kansas City Chiefs that has done it over and over again.
But
disagree. There was one.
Disagree to a point, right? In terms of there's one Kansas City, because it's not just Kansas City that does continued success. Baltimore's had continued success. Now, granted, it hasn't gone all the way for other reasons.
Regular season, yeah, I'll give that.
Buffalo has had continued success here in the most recent years. Obviously, there was New England during their dynasty.
Oh, well, I was about to bring them up, yeah.
My thing is that but success isn't necessarily always going to the championship game or the Super Bowl. It's about constantly showing progress, right? And that is what you need, what Commanders fans need to be looking for this year is, okay, we don't have the element of surprise like we did last year. Nobody expected the Commanders to make that deep run. Nobody, right. I mean, maybe some people had them against the Buccaneers. Nobody had them against the Lions. Everybody thought they were going to go into Detroit and get waxed because of how great that Detroit team was playing, and it was in Detroit. And it just felt like it was their time. They had all the momentum behind them. They were the best team, in all honesty, in the NFL, which turned out to not be true. It turned out to be Philly. But they were, by all accounts, the best team of the season. They had the number 1 seed in the NFC, right? Washington goes in there and beats them, takes them by surprise. Then, of course, they get waxed by Philly because Philly is a divisional opponent. They had already played them twice, and it was in Philly. So, of course, they just know how to win that. And they just had the better talent. They were just playing much better at that point in the season. And I said this during our NFL preview podcast. Again, the thing that Commanders fans need to bank on is to see improvement, to see growth still. Again, not necessarily in where you end your season, right? Not in an NFC Championship game, right? Let's say you guys make it to the wild card and to the divisional, and then you get bumped in the divisional, or you get bumped in the wild card, but you guys put up a great performance and you guys just lost the game. That's progress. Okay, sure, it's not the NFC Championship game, but at least we see the team is still playing well, and we're at least making to the playoffs again, back-to-back seasons.
Yeah, it's and you're playing on the road, a very tough environment on a short week. I mean, everybody's tired for the Thursday night games, but especially the team that's on the road typically.
And so early in the season.
And early in the season, everybody's worn down. So I wouldn't put that much stock into this game, quite honestly. And so when you were in the group chat screaming and yelling after that game was over, I'm just like, take a chill pill. It's early in the season.
It's only week 2. You guys are 1-1. Relax.
Tough opponent, a short week. There's not a lot of time to prepare, for coaches and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things working, against you at that point. So it's, it is what it is. You got to move on and go to the next one. And things are still favorable for you guys.
Well, I will say they kept it relatively close. It wasn't like a blowout. So,
well, they had a garbage time.
Close is a strong word there, Kirby. That's sugarcoating a little bit. Sure, the scoreline necessarily wasn't a blowout, but I mean, but watching the game wasn't close at all. Yeah. Okay, what happened was the Packers kept shooting themselves in the foot. Yeah. But in all honesty, the Packers were dominating you the whole night.
I know. Yeah. It was just tough to see week 2, but early season loss in week 2, I guess that's better than a late season loss when playoff implications
are on the line. He's complaining about being 1-1. Listen to this guy.
Okay,
listen to this guy. You guys lost to one of the best teams in the NFL. Listen to this guy. Where's my baby crying sound?
I just hope that the Commanders coaching staff can learn from a game like this to get this team even better and more prepared.
My guy, it's Dan Quinn.
They will.
He's not a rookie. This isn't like you guys aren't dealing with a brand new coach here. Dan Quinn is a very experienced head coach in the NFL. He's gone to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's had some of the best defenses in league history.
Yeah.
What are we trying to say here? Like, I hope these guys can figure it out. Kirby, you have a good coaching. gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
And he got an extra long week to rest and to prepare.
That too.
To
You guys got
to
the mini
team
bye.
refocused. Yeah.
Who do you got? Yeah, you guys are playing the freaking Raiders.
The Raiders at home.
So be grateful in a way that your Thursday night game was early in the season, to be honest, because if it's later in the season, that can really work against you, depending on injuries and whenever your bye week is and all that lined up. So
Yeah, I agree. But
cool.
Yeah. How about the Ravens, Dan?
Yeah.
Big win over the Browns.
What'd you say, Carlos?
I said, you mean the Browns, because technically the Ravens were the Browns. They were playing themselves.
We were.
They were.
The difference is we had to restart.
I can't make that joke.
The difference is we had to restart, from nothing. So that is the one thing. The Browns luckily when they came back, got to keep all their records and all that. So it worked out for them, I think, in the end. But no, this was a game. The Ravens
did it though? Wait, did it really work out for them?
Success-wise, no. No, it did not.
There you go.
But that's another story for another day. Joe Flacco's triumphant return to M&T Bank Stadium for the first time as an ex-Raven. It was kind of an emotional game. And honestly, early on, the Browns didn't look too bad. They were staying competitive in this game, and the Ravens were rusty, kind of on both sides of the ball, but especially on offense. And I'm going to talk about the running game here exclusively here in a few minutes. But the Ravens kind of slept walk early in this game. Lamar was kind of off. Receivers running the wrong routes, not great passes. Just the Ravens kind of looked out of sync to start this game. Oh, hi, Chief. It's always great to see Chief on camera.
Yeah, he's always got to make it about him.
Chief.
I like how he just looks up.
Yep.
But yeah,
Don't mind me.
Offensively, slow start to this game. I thought the defense was also, left a little bit to be desired out there for the first half, especially. But to the Ravens' credit, and it's something they did not do a week ago. Obviously, a much more difficult opponent on the road, playoff environment, much different than hosting the Browns. Obviously, I'm not going to discount that. I thought the Ravens played about as good of a second half as I've seen them play in quite some time, and just ran away with this game. And I was really impressed with how Lamar turned it around and how the offense was able to step up. And not going to lie, I got nervous as we were heading from the third to the fourth quarter. I just have so many bad recent memories of how those things normally go for us. But I'm satisfied with how we played. I thought defensively in the second half we were great. We really started to get to Joe Flacco, and I texted at one point, I almost feel bad for Joe Flacco because we were really getting after him and hitting him.
He was getting killed.
And part of me goes, why not put Dylan Gabriel or Shador Sanders in the game at that point? Because it was in the third quarter when Flacco's trying to get outside the pocket, and he has no speed at all. He used to be somewhat. I mean, he was never a quick-footed quarterback, but he was kind of nimble at times. He could get out the pocket, but not anymore. Oh man, it was kind of tough to watch. But yeah, I'm really kind of surprised the Browns waited to put Dylan Gabriel in the game. Yeah, sorry for that, Carlos. But overall, I really don't have a ton to say about this game. I thought it was a complete game. Finally.
What is going on here?
Carlos he's lowering his desk.
I thought I was getting a little uncomfortable sitting, so I wanted to stand for a little bit, and then I was like, "This is not that comfy." So I'm sorry. I'm totally derailed. I derailed this segment. My bad, guys.
Yeah, you have a moving desk.
Yes.
Oh man, those are
Same
awesome.
Same here. It's nice.
Those are awesome.
I really don't have a ton of criticism for this team. I feel like they bounced back nicely. Obviously, this is a kind of game where you had to do that against this opponent at home after a loss. The Ravens are normally pretty good after a loss. I don't know what John Harbaugh's record is in the regular season after a loss. I would imagine it's pretty good. But they turned it around. They needed to. Good team win, and got a little bit of a fire under our bellies. We head into the hard part of our schedule, as we will talk about later on in the show. But yeah, good turnaround for the guys in this game. Kirby?
I think it's
Carlos?
time for the Chiefs and the Eagles.
No, hold on.
A 2-hour pregame show live from Arrowhead Stadium,
Well,
hyping this
so we're
game
done.
up.
You're just trying to move off of the Ravens. You just don't
I
want to talk
guess
about
he's
the
got
Ravens.
nothing to say about
That's
the
what I'm saying. He's
Ravens.
got
No
nothing to say.
follow-up
Like I
questions
was
for
just
me?
looking up. I was trying to find that stat for you, Dan. Of
I'm
what
sorry.
Cardinals' record of after a loss, and I couldn't find it really quickly.
Let's see.
Kirby, you got any thoughts?
I just think the Ravens played an altogether good game. I love the respect that they showed Joe Flacco with the amount of success he has had in a Ravens uniform. It's just great to see him coming back and, just everybody showing Joe Flacco love because of what he did for the city of Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean he was everything, man, and
I mean, he brought
honestly,
a Super
if you
Bowl.
take away that Super Bowl run, he was just a normal quarterback. But I tell you, you add that in, he had one of the greatest runs a quarterback has ever had in the playoffs, and it was just magic, man. I mean, that's the only way I can describe it. And I also love his and Lamar's relationship because obviously we know things did not end well for Joe Flacco in Baltimore. They draft Lamar Jackson. He takes over as a starting quarterback, and Flacco is, obviously, rightfully, the backup quarterback for, I think, a year, and then they let him go. So, tough situation to end, but, to me, he'll always be a Baltimore Raven, and obviously when he retires, which might be this season, depending on how things go.
Yeah, I don't really know how
I
much
think-
longer he's gonna play.
He's still, he can still throw the ball deep. I'll give him that, but rarely. But, the Browns really didn't take any deep shots in this game. But, I think he'll retire a Raven and he'll be, in the Ravens Ring of Honor, of course. And, we'll be having that ceremony next year, probably, maybe 2 years from now. But
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah. I have a lot of great memories with him as quarterback. But I think the Ravens made the right decision. They knew when the time was right to move on from Joe Flacco, a guy who won them the Super Bowl just, 6 years prior to Lamar Jackson coming along. So, got to credit them for that. They made the right move. It's a good front office. So, that's really all I got. I have nothing but respect for Joe Flacco. I'm going to root for him when he's not playing the Ravens, quite frankly, because, he's a good dude, and he's a 40-year-old quarterback starting quarterback in the NFL. It's just rare. So obviously we have a couple of those this year, but that's all I got.
He's so cute. Sorry.
He really is. He just made the cutest face on camera.
I know. He
Like,
just
come
sat
on.
there and just looked at me. That's why I was like, "Oh my god." Anyways, for the listeners, my dog keeps showing up in the frame. So, and he just looked at me like, "Dude." Anyways,
What are you doing?
yeah. I mean, the Ravens, they played a great game. There's not really much to say. I do agree. Like they started the game off slow. I remember thinking that I might have to text in the group chat being like, "Oh, Dan, I'm a little nervous here for you," but
Yeah,
then eventually
feeling it.
they asserted control. And look, Lamar's special, man. He's so special. He's so good. God, I want him to win a Super Bowl so bad.
You and
But
me both, man.
But at the same time, I don't want him to win one because then it's going to come
Right.
at the cost of my team. But it would be great to just see him win one. He's so good. It's crazy how good he is.
He just makes plays that aren't humanly possible.
It's
Like,
just
that's the biggest thing.
he's a freaking alien, man. Like he is. We're not the same. Like he's just like he's built completely different, and he's just so good. He's yeah.
It's such an honor to watch him play every week. It really,
I mean,
really is. It sounds
like,
corny.
I'm just
but it
glad.
really
I'm
is.
just glad that he has like kind of stayed away from like getting seriously hurt because Lamar's not really like a big stocky guy. He's
Right,
put on
right.
some size definitely while he's been in the league.
But he's not built like Josh Allen or
Yeah.
quarterbacks
So
that,
like
where he's tall and he's got the weight.
and that
to
and a little bit of a stretch there for a few years, like he was struggling with staying healthy. and he was dealing with injuries, but luckily it was never anything catastrophic. It was just like minor injuries that kept him out for a while. But here, like these past like 3 seasons, you know, obviously the championship game season 2 years ago, last year, and then this year so far, he's just looked phenomenal. And I'm just glad that, like, yeah, he's found a way, he's found something that works for him so that his body's able to withstand the wear and tear of the season, and he's not getting like seriously hurt, you know, knock on wood that he doesn't.
Yeah, I think he's also evolved. Like, you know, I think when he first came to the league, obviously he was pretty much a pure running quarterback to start. I mean, he's always had a great arm, don't get me wrong, but I think he's become much more comfortable becoming a pocket passer, and I think that's probably where he does most of his damage outside the pocket when he's on the run and he can throw or take off. And I think that's the difference and the maturation that he's had as an NFL quarterback. It's been great to see for sure. And he protects himself pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
quarterbacks
but
are going to get hit. I mean,
they're always going to get hit, but he's able
Right.
to not take those big hits on a consistent basis where he's going to get hurt. Right. But I think the main thing that I'm going to take from this game is that it was a good bounce back game for them. Obviously, after that heartbreaking loss to Buffalo, they start off a little sluggish, but they finally got it going towards the end. And I think this is a good sign that, hey, like that loss didn't mess with anything too much going forward. And they got the win. First home game of the season. Obviously, it was the 30th anniversary of the team starting up again.
Yeah.
With those sick end zone designs too.
It just sucks they can't use that original logo anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, all they had to do was send a signed helmet. That's all they had to do. But anyways, yeah, look, it was great performance. There's not really much to be said. The Browns, we already know the Browns are going to suck this year. So, yeah, there's not much to really discuss on them.
Well, I think it's time. There's one last and final game that we need to discuss. The 2-hour hype up that with a live pregame show on Fox NFL Sunday to hype up this Super Bowl rematch. And, you know, it came with all the emotions and everything. And
all the bells and whistles. Yep.
All the bells and whistles, and the Eagles over the Chiefs by 3 points. The Chiefs are 0-2 on this early season. Is there cause for concern? That's a question that we might have to ask Carlos. Or, you know, it is early in the season, so, you know, a lot can happen, but still 0-2, just seeing this Chiefs team 0-2, just very weird to me because of the amount of success that this Chiefs team has had over the seasons.
And the first 3-game losing streak of Patrick Mahomes' career.
That stat is such bullshit. I'm sorry. Excuse my French. That stat is such bullshit. Since when has
it's never been
the
tracked.
Super Bowl counted towards the next season for like the win-loss streak? Like that makes no sense. That was last season.
I agree.
That I hate people that keep throwing out it's his first 3-game losing streak. It doesn't work like that. We don't count last season's games towards this season's game. So in all reality, it's just a 2-game skid. Like it's not a 3-game losing streak. And also cool. Like cool. It's going to eventually happen. It happened to Brady. It's happened to every quarterback. Every quarterback has lost multiple games in a row. By God, does everybody want Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs to fail so bad that they will cling on to any negative headline that they can get to and celebrate it. Now,
you're welcome.
The question is there cause for concern? No, there is no cause for concern because at the end of the day, the Chiefs are missing a lot of pieces on offense, and their defense showed a lot better promise this game than they did in the first game. And at the end of the day, the reason why we lost this game wasn't because the Eagles blew us out of the water like the Super Bowl. No, it was self-inflicted wounds. That was the problem in this game because the Chiefs had ample opportunities to win this. We all know the big play. Travis Kelce drops the pass, gets intercepted. That was a 10-point swing right there alone. That play alone. Harrison Butker misses a 58-yard field goal. Wide right.
No pun intended.
He misses it wide right. The second week in a row, he's missed, a kick. He needs to be more consistent because a 58-yarder, I expect Harrison Butker to make that because he's made that before, especially at home. Like, he should be making that at home. But yeah, like, in all honesty, we, going forward on fourth down, to start the second half and giving the Eagles the ball on the 30-yard line and then them getting a field goal. That was essentially the difference in the game right there. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of self-inflicted wounds by the Chiefs. The offense is super, super lackluster right now. I'm not happy with it. It was very frustrating. And I was happy with the defense, but I'm getting a little concerned with our pass rush. That's not there. Like unless we're bringing in a blitz, the front four guys aren't winning and getting to the quarterback. That's why Justin Herbert, was carving us up. That's why there was times where it felt like, Jalen Hurts had all day in the pocket and there was like nobody was winning and getting to him. Now, luckily, in those situations, another reason why he was holding the ball so long is because the coverage was great out there, despite the fact that we lost one of our starting cornerbacks, to start the game, and then we also lost Mike Dana.
In this game were really good.
Yes, this was definitely a defensive battle, and it was frustrating, mostly because the Chiefs really struggled offensively, and yet we still had a chance to win the game, and we didn't. Yeah. This time we didn't. That was something we kept getting away with last season. We're clearly not getting away with it this year. We're not getting that bounce. The Eagles I hate the Eagles so much. I truly despise that team so much. But the Eagles, their offense is concerning me. I think that they are definitely struggling with play calling because they got a first-time play caller, offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think they're going to go through some growing pains, obviously, because of that. Constantly switching the offense up is an issue because they keep getting their offensive coordinator plucked or fired, and in all honesty, I'm just not impressed by them these past 2 weeks. Their defense is good. Don't get it twisted. Their defense is good, but their offense, again, Jalen Hurts doesn't even have a passing touchdown this year yet. Like, that's crazy. I mean, he's only got like 200 something yards passing, I think 285, something like that. So it's not like he's lighting up the world. And yet they're still winning. The Chiefs defense did such a good job this game. I understand Saquon got like 85 yards rushing or whatever, but like it was on like 22 carries. So it's like it was a chore for him to get that far. And obviously that one touchdown was perfectly executed by the Eagles. But yeah, if you're going to ask me, am I concerned? No, because I do think that say we did have Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice in this game, we would have beaten the Eagles by 2 scores. So it's really about trying to survive until those guys kind of come back. But also, the Chiefs have to look in the mirror, especially Andy Reid. He has to look in the mirror and really figure out what he's trying to do offensively. Because what he's been doing these past 2 seasons, ever since we lost Tyreek Hill, this offense has really struggled at points. And there's just a lack of creativity sometimes. There's a lack of scheming guys open. Like, they just want every guy to kind of win on their own, but it's like you guys aren't helping them. You guys aren't drawing up plays that'll open guys up. And the problem is that when we have injuries like we do, or we have a suspension with Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, and we don't have the guys and we don't have guys that are going to consistently win. And again, Travis Kelce's a year older and is clearly not the same player that he was since the Super Bowl against the 49ers, 2 years ago. Like, it's just like you're doing your team a disservice by not doing that. And everybody wants to blame Matt Nagy, and I get it. Matt Nagy is the fall guy. He's the offensive coordinator and all that stuff. But this is Andy Reid's offense. Like, Matt Nagy installs it, but like it's Andy Reid who calls the plays on Sundays. It's not Matt Nagy.
It's
so
Andy's mastermind. Yeah.
And again, I don't like Matt Nagy. Like, I don't think he's a good offensive coordinator. I think that he's, I just don't think he's that good. But Andy Reid, again, he has been known. Where's the creativity that we used to see in this offense? Is it really because Xavier Worthy's not playing? We have Thornton. Like, Thornton was getting open down the field consistently, and Patrick was missing him. But then we would stop, calling plays for him. We're putting Juju Smith-Schuster out there who's not doing anything. He can barely, turn. But we have Remigio, who every time he gets out there makes a play and then is just pulled off the field immediately, and we don't see him again. It's just like Andy just needs to look in the mirror and like really figure out this play calling situation, because again, that fourth down play that they ran was abysmal.
Bad.
You're going to run Kareem Hunt, who has that's another issue that we have on the offense, is the running backs aren't giving us anything. And I know some people are going to blame the offensive line, but like, honestly, the offensive line is giving you enough, but like Pacheco and Kareem Hunt aren't giving you anything right now. So
why is Kareem Hunt getting the ball in that situation? That if they're
but it's not even that. It's like, I don't have necessarily an issue with Kareem Hunt getting it. It's the play itself. You are running a sweep in that situation. You're relying on Noah Gray to be the lead blocker, and he completely botched that. And it's like, guys, just keep it simple, stupid. I've said this before. Sometimes Andy does get like I'm telling Andy he needs to get better at his play calling, and sometimes he gets in his own head and tries to get a little too cute with it. And this is an issue I've had with him before. Just running up the middle. Again, I understand Patrick Mahomes hurt his knee that one time on a QB sneak, but my goodness, it's been like 5 years since that happened. Let the man try again. He said it before. He doesn't have an issue. He wants to do it. But ever since that, and Patrick Mahomes has said that, but ever since that knee injury, Andy's just refused to do it. And it limits what we can do offensively sometimes when we're in like a 3rd and inches or something like that. Instead, we can't just give it to Patrick. The Chiefs are going to be okay. Now, if they lose to the Giants, I might start getting a little worried then, because we're going to be 0-3.
That's red alert.
And then we got Baltimore coming into town. Getting a win, this is a must-win for the Chiefs. And look, I understand that the Giants just put up a crap ton of points, but it was against that abysmal Cowboys defense. They're not going to get those same looks against the Steve Spagnuolo defense. And at the end of the day, Russ is going to be Russ, and he's going to make a mistake just like he did against the Cowboys. So the Chiefs have to win this game. And then they have to hope to God that they can beat the Ravens. But even if they don't beat the Ravens, which I don't know if they can with this team, with what we have. So if we had Rashid and Xavier, like I would be like, we can beat the Ravens. It's not like the Ravens are, but with the way the offense has been operating, I don't know if we can beat the Ravens in 2 weeks. We'll see. We'll see if Xavier comes back or not. But even if he comes back, he's not going to be 100%. But anyways, they have to win this game, because
it's a must win.
You got to think, okay, let's just chalk up the Ravens game to a loss. You're going to be 1-3. But then you got a couple winnable ones. You got the Jags and you got the Lions. I think they can beat both those teams. And then by then, I think Rashid will be back. Will be allowed back, because that'll be post week 6. And then obviously we got a game against Buffalo after that. So I think we got the Raiders in between there somewhere.
And only 6 teams in NFL history have made the playoffs after starting 0.
Yeah, but when you factor in teams,
the extra game.
No, not the extra game. When you take out the teams and you leave in the teams that made the playoffs the year before, because that's the thing, that stat includes a lot of bad teams that didn't make the playoffs the year before, right? If you do that, it's 5 out of the last 12 teams that have done that. And the last team to do it was your Baltimore Ravens. They started 0-2, and then they made it to the playoffs. Will the Chiefs win the Super Bowl this year? We don't know. Okay, nobody knows.
0-3.
0-3. Yeah, 0-3. I don't know. I don't know how we kind of get out of that hole, because it'll be a battle. It'll be mostly battling for the wild. At that point, just kiss the division goodbye. It'll be a battle, but at least it's mostly about trying to survive until Rashid is clear to come back. But
how long is that again? 6 weeks?
6-game suspension. So we got 4 more weeks to go, basically. So we got a month left. So yeah, he's gonna miss obviously this game. He's gonna miss the Ravens game. He's gonna miss the Jags game, and he's gonna miss the Lions game. After the Lions, then he can come back.
Okay.
So he'll be back for that Buffalo game, but you already know how it goes in the regular season. Kansas City always loses to Buffalo, and it's in Buffalo.
I don't have anything to add. I think Carlos covered it well. I think. You're right that people are looking for any in to say the dynasty's over, but that's just the age we live in.
Are we ready to talk about the Tush Push yet?
I was just about to ask you about that.
But that's all I have. I mean, we all know they started counting Tom Brady out. They counted the Patriots out before. You can't do that. You can't. Not until the season's over and we see what the ending record is if they miss the playoffs, which I don't think that's going to happen. But you can't talk until things are all said and done. That's my whole thing. And the problem is the social media. People pile on early, and they're going to look really stupid in the freezing cold takes of this if the Chiefs have a bounce back like they definitely could, and make a deep run again. So. Anyway, I'll throw it to Kirby so we can talk about the most famous play in the NFL. Can run.
No, I was just saying I was going to ask you about the Tush Push there, Carlos, because you didn't mention it till now.
I purposely didn't mention it to wait until now.
That's crazy.
Look, was I very frustrated on Sunday when they kept running it, and then they showed that like, hey, they were false starting, and then you could just tell that they were constantly false starting, and somehow the refs couldn't tell? Yes, absolutely. I was very frustrated. Do I now want it banned? I actually don't. I just want it officiated correctly, because clearly, and I'm not saying this is all the time, I'm not saying that they always false start and stuff, but clearly they line up in the neutral zone, and everybody's been pulling up the clips and screenshots. They have been running, and for some reason they keep getting away with it. And that's an illegal formation. And like, you can't sit there and be like, and then when you really look at it, because somebody was trying to make the case that, oh, the Chiefs defensive players are also in the neutral zone. No, when you actually line it up, the ball is completely under the center, which is illegal, by the way, and the Chiefs players are on their side. And then again, when the 2 guards are going before the ball is snapped, A, that's a false start, of course we all know, but B, there's no chance that Kansas City can, or any defensive team can beat the leverage point of that attack, because they're already getting pushed before the ball's even snapped. It's not fair. So I hope what happens now is what happened to the Chiefs on opening night against the Detroit Lions 2 seasons ago, where Chris Collinsworth kept pointing out that Juwan Taylor was false starting. So then after that, every game, he was like, every referee then just paid attention to Juwan Taylor. Hopefully this brought attention to the Tush Push, and it will be officiated correctly. And these refs are going to stop, holding the flag and, just letting the Eagles do whatever they want, essentially, just because they can't see. Look, at the end of the day, if you can't see it, then it's an illegal formation. And did the Chiefs lose because of this? No, absolutely not. Like I said, there was plenty of moments the Chiefs could have won. They made plenty of mistakes in this game. And at the end of the day, the Eagles capitalized on those mistakes because, like I said, that interception was a 10-point swing. It would have been a 4-point lead for the Chiefs to then a 10-point deficit because the Eagles ended up getting a field goal. I think they got a field goal on that player. What's that? Yeah.
Field goal.
Yeah.
Field goal. Yeah.
And again, it's not as if the Eagles ever went on a long sustained drive. Their longest field was like 59 yards that they went. Like they never went 70 plus yards to score. This Chiefs defense shut them down. And I think it proved, my final point here, I think it proved that the Super Bowl was A, an anomaly, and B, that defense lost a lot this offseason because they actually had a blitz this time to try to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes.
Fair point.
Well,
Fair points.
I'm going to disagree with you, Carlos. And I want the Tush Push ban because I think I just don't like it in the game. And I'm not saying that because I root for the Commanders, but I think...
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
No, I just think... Yeah, I think...
I just want it run fairly. That's all I want. Like, to me, I don't have an issue with the play existing. I don't think anybody should have an issue with the play existing. I think it should be the way football players claim it to be. If you don't like it, stop it. But if the reason why a lot of teams can't stop it, because we see what happens when it's run regularly, it's not as successful. There's a reason why only the Eagles can do it, because they figured out a way to run it to where it works to their advantage. But the way it works to their advantage is illegal. So what we want is for it to be run fairly. We've seen the Bills try to run it. We've seen multiple teams try to run it and come with varied success, but that's because they're running it the right way. And that's how it should be. The Eagles run it in a way, because of course they invented it. They didn't invent it, but you know what I mean? They brought it to the NFL, but they run it in a way that gives them an unfair advantage. They're going before the ball is snapped and they're lining up in the neutral zone. So there's less. So already the ball is like already being covered essentially. Yeah. So to me, I disagree with banning the play. I don't think it needs to be banned. I just think it needs to be officiated correctly.
That's a fair point.
Personal biases aside, like I said, I despise the Eagles, but I don't want that play banned because I feel like that's just like, that's not football. Like, find a way to stop it.
I feel like just the formation design, God forbid that somebody like gets hurt because of that. Oh my
God, okay.
I'm just saying.
Has anybody gotten seriously hurt yet?
No, I'm just saying.
Well, so why are we all still so afraid? Oh my God, they might get hurt. Dude, they can get hit on a tackle and get hurt. It's a contact sport.
It is a violent sport.
My goodness, if that is what you're afraid of, Kirby, then we might as well just ban tackling in general.
Go watch flag football in the Olympics then, if that's what you're worried about. And guess what? There's going to be injuries there too. I'll be willing to bet.
Yeah. But
enough with that stupid injury narrative. Get off your high horse. My God, we're watching a game where these guys are killing each other every hit.
National Football League. Come on.
Yeah. Come on. But, you know, you brought up a very good point too, Carlos. But
I know. I always bring up.
I love it. I love it. When
this has been the theme of the freaking podcast. I've been saying this all show. I know this.
So all right. Well, the best time of the podcast is right around the corner. We're going to step out for a quick break. And when we return, it's the Kirby on Sports PickEm, and we will round out the show right after that. You're tuned into episode 228 of the Kirby on Sports podcast.
You may have heard the saying, it's not if your home will get termites, it's when. At Barrett Pest and Termite Services, we're doing our best to refute that saying one home at a time. Our thorough inspections and treatments are designed to keep your home or business termite-free. Termites cause $5 billion in damages every year. A preemptive inspection is one of the best ways to keep that from happening to you. Because once you see evidence of termites with the naked eye, you can be sure they've already been at work for some time. Put a stop to termites and the damage they do by calling Barrett Pest and Termite Services 540-340-3922. Barrett Pest and Termite Services 540-340-3922.
It's Jason, General Manager at Shenandoah Music, here to tell you all about...
Jay, what are you doing here?
Well, Matt, I'm trying to tell the people about our selection of guitars, basses, keyboards, drum sets.
I know that, but I always do the radio spots.
You get to have all the fun. I want to tell everyone about our huge selection, unbeatable prices, unmatched service, and in-depth knowledge.
Jay, I really don't think now is the time to discuss.
So remember, folks, when you think music, think Shenandoah Music in Winchester.
That's my line.
The Cider House is now open on East Piccadilly Street in downtown Winchester. The Cider House is open starting at noon Wednesday to Sunday. Stop in for a wide variety of ciders on draft, as well as 4 Virginia beers, wine, and ready-to-drink canned cocktails. Don't miss our lunch specials featuring our house salad. We also have dinner specials too. Stop in today at the Cider House, located on Piccadilly Street in downtown Winchester.
Fall is here, and New Look Landscaping has everything your home needs to look its best. Brighten your yard with colorful mums available now. And don't forget, New Look offers professional power washing to give your home a fresh, clean look. Call New Look Landscaping today at 540-327-1244 or email them 2025.nulook@gmail.com. Are you looking to take the final steps in order to get your driver's license? Look no further. On the Road Driving School offers teen and adult driving, along with classroom sessions for teens and adults, DMV re-exam classes, and driver improvement classes. On the Road Driving School has what you need in order to get on the road. Contact them today at 540-869-6105. That's On the Road Driving School. 540-869-6105. On the Road Driving School will get you on the road. Welcoming you back to the Kirby on Sports podcast. Again, a huge shout out to all of our valuable sponsors of the Kirby on Sports podcast. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It's time for the Kirby on Sports PickEm.
Why did that remind me for a second there?
Awkward thing.
No, that kind of reminded me of the scene from Wolf of Wall Street where Matthew McConaughey is doing his little thing. That literally reminded me of that there at the end.
It had the same rhythm, yeah.
It had it there like that. That's yeah. Anyways, leave the musical stuff to me, Kirby.
Yeah, that was rough.
So excited. This is the main event. So excited. This is the main event. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are.
This is the main event. So excited. This is
all right, Kirby. All right.
That was disturbing. I'm gonna have nightmares now. Hold on. Put us back where we belong. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 3, if it'll show up. There we go. Of the Kirby on Sports Pick'ems.
No way, Kirby and I. Oh God.
Yeah. It's happening. But we'll talk. So yeah, after 2 weeks, we have some interesting developments here. I was not prepared. I am prepared though.
I was, but I'm not. But
okay, now I'm prepared. Okay, so yeah, so here are the standings thus far after week 2. Kirby's in first place at 10-2.
Oh, really? Is that so?
Stay humble.
Is that so? First place?
we can't hear you from 4-time loser.
I can't hear you from the basement, bro.
Yeah.
Congratulations. It's week 2. There's a lot of games to be played. I knew this was going to happen. I knew as soon as he saw himself at first place, he was going to get cocky. He's going to get cocky. Stay humble, my friend, because remember,
Kirby?
I've been down plenty of times. I was down the whole season to Dan.
Most of the time I've beat Carlos. Most of the time.
Dan was up on me, and guess what? I caught him at the end, and that's what matters. Is at the end, I will be there, Kirby. And if you don't kill me, if you don't kill me, then I'm coming for you.
That's it.
Anyways, long story. Yeah, so Kirby is in first place at 10-2. Congratulations. He's actually done very well. 5-1 both weeks.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Solid picking.
I appreciate it very much.
Solid picking by Kirby lately. And then me and Dan are both tied at 8-4. Dan actually had a great week this week too. He was 5-1 this week.
Missed out on one game.
Yeah, he missed out on one. The only game he missed was the Broncos.
Yeah.
And then I was 3-3. The Chiefs let me down. The Vikings let me down. And the Broncos.
Vikings really bad.
Yeah, the Vikings got me good. I won't make that mistake ever again. So, to preface some history here for you boys, last year at this point, we were all 8-4. It was a 3-way tie. So Kirby is the only one who has improved by 2 games. And that's another thing you got to keep in mind, Kirby. You're only up 2 games. Now, will things change this week? No, because as you can see by our picks, there's not a lot of variation. I'm the only one with 1 pick different.
Only 1 game, yeah.
So with that being said, the games we'll be picking this week are Baltimore versus Detroit, the Chargers against the Broncos, Philly versus the Rams, the Giants against the Chiefs, Washington against Vegas. This game was picked before we knew Jayden Daniels was injured. And then Chicago, Dallas. Honestly, this week was doo-doo to pick games. There was 2 matchups I knew for sure we were going to do, which is Baltimore versus Detroit and Philly versus the Rams. Yeah. And then Chargers, Denver, I was like, that'll be interesting, so I'll put that in. But after that, I struggled with the 3 games, so I was just like, you know what, screw it. We're just going to do Chiefs, Commanders, and then we'll just throw Cowboys, Bears for fun. I will go first, of course, as your three-time Pick'em's champion, Kirby. You know what? This is not correct. This is not how it should be. That's how it should be.
There you go.
That's where you belong, Kirby. On the bottom.
Favorite number 2.
That's where you belong. You're this podcast's favorite basement dweller.
Who, by the way, still needs to eat pancakes.
Trying to hide the fact that you freaking are a 4-time loser. How dare you, sir? How dare you challenge the integrity of this podcast? Like, anyway,
the Carlos and Dan truth in podcasting. I'm just saying.
It's best super PAC out there. We're gonna keep you accountable, Kirby.
That's it.
Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and pick the Ravens over the Lions. This game is in Baltimore. And we saw the Lions come back to life, but was it last year that they played and Baltimore beat the brakes off of them, or was that 2 years ago?
Yeah. I think it was last year.
I think it was 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago? Or was it last year? I remember it was like recently though.
Wait, it might have actually been last year.
Somebody pull it up.
All right, I'm gonna look.
Was it last year?
I can't remember. I remember last.
I'm looking.
Okay, so I remember 2 years ago, every great team that Baltimore played, they destroyed.
2 years ago. Yeah, it was 38-6 2 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. And I think Detroit's gotten worse. I think Baltimore's gotten better. I got Baltimore. I'm going to take the Chargers over the Broncos. The Broncos have not impressed the way everybody tried to make them out to be. No. And the Chargers have actually looked very good. Justin Herbert kind of finally starting to live up to the hype a little bit. Now, does he need some postseason success for me to fully believe? Yes. But I will take the Chargers over the Broncos. I'm going to take, as much as I despise this freaking team, this game is in Philly, so I'm going to take Philly over the Rams. I almost took the Rams here, but I was like, once I factor in Philly, and also you just got to give the Eagles the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to take Philly. I'm going to take the Chiefs over the Giants because I'm contractually obligated to, and also I just think we're going to beat the Giants. I made this pick before. We all did. We all made our picks before the Jayden Daniels news came out. So now I'm even more locked in on this pick. I'm the sole person who's going to take the Raiders over the Commanders. I think the Raiders are going to want to bounce back from this loss against the Chargers. And Geno's going to want to come out and play a lot better than he did because he played abysmal against the Chargers. And again, Washington is going to be playing without Jayden Daniels. They're going to be playing with Marcus Mariota is their backup, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So it could be an interesting game. But I think Pete Carroll might have this one, but we'll see. And then I will take my former team, the Dallas Cowboys, over the Chicago Bears, because Chicago is in absolute disarray, despite the fact that they got the coach that they wanted in Ben Johnson. But by all accounts, it's starting to smell like Caleb Williams is a bust. So I can't trust that. I can't trust him. And honestly, Dallas's offense, humming. They're really good. It's that defense that's a problem. And guess what? If they would have kept Micah, and if Diggs still needs to kind of get his legs under him from the injury, I think this team will be okay. Oh, also, Deron Bland didn't play against the Giants, so we'll see if he'll play this game against Chicago, and that might help the secondary a little bit. But with all that being said, I will now throw it to this podcast's favorite number 2, the Josh Allen to my Patrick Mahomes.
Here we go. Thank you, Carlos. So yeah, as Carlos mentioned, Kirby and I have the same picks, but I will maybe give some better reasons why. So probably that's not a challenge. Sorry, Kirby. I am taking the Baltimore Ravens over the Detroit Lions. Number 1, I am contractually obligated, but also I agree with what Carlos said. I think the Lions have been, so far this year, they've taken a step backwards as far as their progression is concerned. And I think the Ravens, after their win on Sunday, are going to start to heat up here a little bit. And this is a game where I think they win by a couple scores, quite frankly. Not 38-6 like it was 2 years ago when they last played, but I think it'll be a two touchdown win.
38-7.
38-7. So rough. Crazy. Crazy. I'm going to take the Chargers over the Broncos. Yeah, the Broncos have been a letdown thus far, and boy, they really were a letdown on Sunday. I'm sad I picked them, and they choked that game away. But yeah, right now I think this is just a case of where a team that's just humming along is going to run into a team that's had some issues so far, and I think the Chargers are going to win this game. I think it's going to be close. Obviously, these divisional games are always interesting. The AFC West, interesting division, but I think the Chargers and Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh has done a great job out there, and I think they're going to continue to hum along in this game, and they get the dub. Philly hosting the Rams. I like the Eagles in this matchup. I think it's pretty given. This is probably besides maybe the Kansas City game, this is probably one of those games on the board where, to me, this is a given win for Philly. I just think they're the superior team, and the Rams are not what they used to be. Quite frankly, they are not the darlings they once were. And I think Matt Stafford's age is really starting to show. I think by mid-season this year, I think we're really going to start to see the age show even more. So as the season wears on, so give me the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. In this game.
That was disgusting.
Sorry, Carlos. I'm going to take the Chiefs over the Giants. Again, this is a situation where I just think the Giants, they don't have much of a chance in this game, I think, quite frankly. Even though this game is in Jersey, correct? This is
in New York.
But yeah, I think Kansas City bounces back. Again, we talked about John Harbaugh after a loss. I'd be interested to know what Andy Reid's record is, because this is probably even better after a loss. So give me Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I think they bounce back nicely in this game. And I think, again, another comfortable win, or a comfortable win for the Chiefs to get back on track. I'm going to take the Commanders over the Raiders. As Carlos mentioned, we did pick this before we found out about the extent of Jayden Daniels' injury.
Just a side note, had you guys suggested changing this, I would have let you guys.
Well, I'm not sure what game we would have replaced it with.
I'm saying, like, if you guys wanted to change your pick, well, Kirby can't, but if you wanted to, you could have.
Yeah. I still think Washington can win this game, quite frankly. Obviously, I think one factor is West Coast team traveling east. It's obviously not as tough as an East Coast team going west, but I still think it makes a difference.
Is this a 1:00 game?
Yes, 1:00.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 o'clock. So they'll be thrown off a little bit, I think. And
That'll be
I
interesting.
think it's going to be hard to trust Washington's defense in general, but they have to step. They're going to have to step up and make some plays in this game, and I frankly I think they do against this Vegas offense, and that might be the difference with Marcus Mariota. It's going to be interesting to see him back on the field again. It's been a minute. And then lastly, I have mumbled very long, but I will take the Dallas Cowboys over the Bears. Bears are a mess. Let's just call it what they are right now. And as Carlos mentioned, this Cowboys offense has really been putting it together, and the Bears
Dax
don't
looks
have
sharp.
any answers. He has. The Bears don't have any answers right now, and I think Dallas goes on the road and wins this game. And with that, I will throw it to the founder, CEO, and 4-time loser of the PickEm, Josh. I forget your middle name, Kirby.
Joshua. I don't got anything. I thought I had something funny, but I don't have anything.
Josh
All
Kirby
right.
on sports, Kirby.
Thank you.
Josh on
So-
sports, Kirby.
Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you. No applause necessary. I'm a 4-time loser. Don't worry.
Yes, you are. Embrace it, Kirby. That's right. Embrace it.
So here are my picks. I'm going to start off with the Baltimore Ravens, and you know why I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens. I think in this day and age, and it's not just this year, previous years too, the AFC has always been stronger and tougher than the NFC. And, the Ravens,
head, absolutely.
Yeah, the Ravens defeated the Lions pretty handily 2 years ago. I think the same this year too. The Chargers, they've been humming. They've been looking very good, and I'm picking them over the Denver Broncos. However, I think this could be a very close and exciting matchup as well. The Eagles over the Rams, that's a home game for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Rams have some juice, but just not enough for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I really don't like how much you guys are counting out the Rams. Like, my goodness, I think that's a bad take right there.
Well, maybe so, but I just think the Eagles look like the better team.
Do
They
they?
used to be.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
This might be the game where the Eagles finally show glimpses of what they
Because
did last year in the playoffs.
something that has been brought to my attention about this Eagles team is that they are basically what the Chiefs were last year. They're winning these games, but they're not winning them convincingly.
Right.
And they're winning them basically kind of by lucky plays here and there. I mean, think about it. They would have CD catches those balls, they lose. Pause. they lose, right?
I mean, it's a true statement.
Travis Kelce catches that touchdown. They don't pick it off. They're down by 4. Now, do they lose? We don't know. But that was a 10-point swing, and it ultimately ended up costing the Chiefs the game. So that's my point here. Is like,
well,
and the Rams.
We could pick moments out of every game.
But I mean, like the
the
Rams. It's not as if they're like lacking weapons. They have Devontae Adams. They have not Cooper Kupp. Puka Nacua.
Nakua's good. Yeah.
So it's just like, and the Rams almost beat the Eagles in the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
I don't like you guys counting them out like that.
We all picked them. I don't know. I
don't mind the pick, right? Like I don't mind the pick. I just don't like your guys' explanation of like making it seem like the Rams have nothing.
Well,
go ahead, Kirby.
I could potentially see this being a game where the Rams upset and we all lose a game because of it. But my reasoning is just the Eagles. I know they haven't had as much production, as you mentioned, Carlos, a new offensive play caller, but Super Bowl champion, 2-game winning streak, and Philly's a tough place to play.
It's much more than that since we're counting games from last year.
Well, I mean, I'm not, but other people might.
Yeah, that's a good point, Carlos.
Yeah.
I think and just to piggyback off that, I like I said, I think this is the game Philly puts it together, because if this were week 7 or 8 and we were talking about all these close, lucky wins the Eagles have, I would probably give credence to what you're saying, Carlos, but To me, the sample size is just too small at this point to put them in the same category as the
I'm
Chiefs
not saying that that's
were
not
last
possible,
year.
but I'm just saying my main point here was mostly about you guys not giving the Rams any
Yeah.
juice here.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. It's a fair criticism. All right, sorry, Kirby. Go ahead.
I thought about letting Russ cook, but I don't think that's going to happen. Kansas
Yeah,
City.
burn down the house.
What do you want? Bland food or sweet Kansas City barbecue? Which one do you want, Kirby? Take your pick.
Kansas City barbecue, I heard, is really good.
Indeed.
The Washington Commanders, I'm going to pick them because I'm contractually obligated. And I'll pick the Dallas Cowboys because Chicago. And
just not it.
I don't know. But, that's the week 3 NFL pick'em. The Kirby on Sports pick'em.
But you know.
But
anyways.
Yeah, so we'll post that on socials. You can pick with us and see if you beat Carlos, Dan, and myself. Who knows?
Good
but
luck.
that wraps up another edition.
It's tough. He's technically won these last 2 weeks. I mean, technically me and you tied. Actually, no. You haven't won these last 2 weeks. Because you and me tied week 1. And then you and Dan tied this week.
Yeah, we got the same. Had the same.
Yeah, you guys both went 5-1. You and me both went 5-1 last week. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but long story short, Kirby's been doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has. He has so far, and he let it go to his head, and we have to remind him.
I always got to humble this man. We got to keep him humble because he's got to understand the pick'ems ain't over until it's over. As Dan has learned multiple years in a row, it's not over until it's over.
So
you don't become a champion for 1,000 days, Kirby, just by winning 2 weeks. No, you win it every freaking week. You just get an inch closer every week, baby. And that's what I do. I linger. I let you think that you're getting ahead. I'm pretty sure Dan had like a 5-game lead on me at one point, and I erased that in 2 weeks.
He did. All it takes is a couple bad picks, and all of a sudden, man, the tables
And if there's one thing we know for certain, is Kirby will eventually make some bad picks.
Yeah. History tells us
this. He's the Dallas Cowboys of this podcast. He's what Stephen A says. The mistake will always happen. It's beautiful.
All right. Well, let's just wait and see. But that wraps up episode 228 of the
I'm just
Kirby
telling
on
you right now,
podcast.
If I win this 4 years in a row, I'm done. I'm retiring. Like, there's no way we can keep doing this. All right. You guys have to beat me this year. I want you guys to beat me this year, but I'm not going to let you beat me. Okay. I want you two to beat me, but I'm not letting you beat me. You have to take it from me. I want one of you two to take it from me. Okay. Be the Cody Rhodes to my Roman Reigns. Dethrone me. All right. Go ahead.
All right, wrestler. Nice
right.
promo you cut there.
There we go. Carlos wants us to beat him, but he's not going to let us beat him. So we'll see how it goes. Tune into us all season. We're going to have a lot of fun with this, but a huge thanks to all of our sponsors for their support of the Kirby on Sports podcast. Frederick County Parks and Recreation, PM Plus Reserve, Shenandoah Primitives, Mark Francis with Icon Real Estate, Bear Pest and Termite Services, Mark Lynch with Guild Mortgage, Shenandoah Music, Icon Media, On the Road Driving School, New Look Landscaping, and the Cider House, along with Equipment Share, Advanced Solutions Equipment Rental. Contact Barry Pearson at 540-935-1069. Don't Sleep Energy, the official energy drink sponsor of the Kirby on Sports podcast. Use promo code KOS Podcast for 12% off your order every single time. For Dan, the Swiss Army knife, three-time reigning defending Kirby on Sports Pick'em champion. I'm Josh Kirby. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 228 of the Kirby on Sports podcast, and we will catch you next week.